Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the permanent way. The permanent way is the combination of rails fitted on sleepers and resting on ballast, and subgrade is called the railway track or permanent way. Permanent way is nothing but the railway track. As we all know that the combination of different parts of the railway track like ballast, a slipper and rails over the subgrade soil over which the railway materials are laid is called railway track or permanent way. In this definition it is written the combination of rails, because the top part of the railway track or the permanent way is rails or two rails over which the wheel moves. Next, it is fitted on slipper. Slipper is nothing but the horizontal members. You can see the horizontal members in the diagram, the horizontal members over which the rails are fitted. Okay. These are the slippers, which are the horizontal members. It is made up of, previously it is constructed by wood. Nowadays it is used in concrete. These slippers are laid over the ballast. Ballast is nothing but the aggregates, force aggregates which are used in the railway track are called ballast. Ballast are laid over the subgrade soil. Okay, first layer is your subgrade soil, over that ballast is laid, then over which slipper, then railway, then rails. Two rails are connected or fitted over the slipper. Okay, so this is the typical cross section of a permanent way. You can see, or it is in embankment. Embankment means the ground level is below the formation level. That means the formation level of the railway track is above the ground level. It is the permanent way, cross section of permanent way on embankment. Okay, this is the formation width. You can see this is the formation width and this is the ballast base. Ballast base means the width of the ballast which is laid over the subgrade soil. Then over this is the slipper over which rails are fitted. Okay. Then gauge. Here written it is gauge. Gauge means the inner to inner distance of the two rails. It is the inner to inner distance between two rails is called gauge. Then this is called ballast shoulder. Ballast maintains some slope here. Bottom layer, bottom width of the ballast is called ballast base, and the top layer of the ballast is called ballast shoulder. Okay. So next slide is your for requirements of ideal permanent way. What are the requirements to do a permanent way, to construct a ideal permanent way? What are the requirements or what are the needful we have to do, we have to take care of? The first is the gauge should be correct and uniform. Gauge means it is the inner to inner distance between the two rails. That means suppose we are constructing 1 kilometer railway track. Okay, for that 1 kilometer length, gauge should be maintained at each and every interval. At every point, if we are if we will measure the distance between the two rails at every point of that 1 kilometer, it should be one reading. That means the gauge distance should be maintained at the any time on any section of the railway track in that 1 kilometer length. Okay, it should be uniform and correct. Next, second point is the rails should be in proper level. That means the level of the rail, as we are providing two rails, that means the wheel is moving over that rail. Okay, two rail, the level of the two rail should be proper level. That means for the both part of the rail, the level should be equal. Okay. Then third is the alignment should be correct. The proper alignment for the rail should be maintained. The gradient should be uniform. Next is the track should be elastic in order to absorb shock. That means the materials we are using in rail or the ballast slipper, the materials we are using, it can take the load. It can take the absorption load or shocks or vibrations. As it has the elastic property, it can take the elastic load, that means shocks and vibrations. It should take shocks and vibrations without any failure. Okay. Next point is the super elevation should be properly designed. Super elevation is the most important part for any road, whether it is roadway, whether it is railway. Okay. For the railway part, super elevation, at the time of super elevation, when we are providing super elevation at the curves, the outer side of the rail should be higher than the lower side for the requirement or design criteria. Okay. For at that section, at that curve part, super elevation should be properly maintained or properly designed to get a ideal permanent way. Clear? Next is the drainage system must be perfect. For any railway track, as we are living in a country where so much population and rainy seasons are there, so drainage system should be properly maintained. That means the materials we are using should drain out. It should have the capacity to drain out the water. Suppose we are using ballast, the ballast should be properly packed so that it can drain out the water. Okay. The points and crossings should be properly designed. As we know that points and crossing, what is points and crossings? Points and crossing it is the section of a railway track where train changes its track. Wheel changes its track from one track to another. It is a weakest part of a railway track. As it is a weakest part and important part of a railway track, it should be properly designed so that no problem is there to change the track. Okay. Next is your gauge. What is gauge? As we previously discussed, gauge is the inner to inner distance between two rails. Okay. So different types of gauges are there for requirement of the different types of soil category and different types of road and environmental condition and the types of trains. The distance between wheels may vary. For that, different types of gauges are there. That is broad gauge, meter gauge, narrow gauge and light gauge. 4 types of gauges are there. Mostly standard gauge we are using, that is broad gauge. Broad gauge, which distance is 1.67 meter between two rails. Second is meter gauge. Third one is narrow gauge. And fourth one is light gauge. For meter gauge, the inner to inner distance between two rails is 1 meter. For narrow gauge, it is 0.76. For light gauge, it is 0.61. Okay. So basically, these are the gauges which are followed for different country, but in India, we are maximum use करते हैं इसे broad gauge. Okay. Broad gauge is the standard gauge which we are using in India. Thank you.